I've been friends for 100 years. We used to recruit not the same kind of players, but we used to tell each other a little bit about the high schools that we went into. And comes from a great family. His dad was a wonderful person and brothers, and I appreciate him taking time to be on. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Wimp. How you doing?
Doing fine. Barry and I were anxious to get you on. I know that Derrick Henry played for you last year and did a good job, and I guess our listeners like to know the improvement he made and how he was to coach.
Derek had an outstanding year. He was playing in behind DeMarco Murray, who's an outstanding pro and had a Pro Bowl season. But the two of them together gave us a great run game combination. The thing that I was really impressed about Derek, first of all, I was shocked that we were able to get him because we had no idea. We really liked him, but did not think he would be there when our opportunity came up in the second round, and we were very fortunate to get him, and it really created what we feel like is the best 1-2 tandem in the league. He has great potential to be an outstanding player. We hope to get him more involved this year. There were several things about him that we knew he was a good runner, but he has great hands. I mean, not good, but great hands. As an excellent receiver, I think through the course of practice and in games last year, he dropped a total of 2 passes the entire season. So, we just feel like there's a tremendous upside for him.
That's great, Barry.
We're talking with Sylvester Croom with the Tennessee Titans. Coach, talking about Derrick Henry, when you guys are the people that put together y'all's draft board there, does it factor in where they went to college and how hard they're used to working? I guess if you have a relationship with those coaches, when you pick up the phone, your draft people and talk to them, they pretty much probably get an honest answer about Alabama guys. Do those guys seem to come not better prepared than most, but really on the cutting edge of being ready to be professionals?
Well, there's no question that the competition and the level of competition and the intensity of the work ethic at various programs definitely give guys a better idea of what it's going to be like in the NFL. But then I just have to remind you is that no matter how well prepared they are in college, the NFL is just totally different. I mean, it's different for the players. It's different for the coaches because of, one, your own scholarship in college. Two, you go into class. Three, the 20-hour rule. It makes a tremendous amount of difference. Once the season starts here, there's no time limit. It's 24 hours a day. I mean, whatever you got to do to give yourself a chance to win. And that's the biggest adjustment, the grind of the long season and the fact that it's all day, every day. And that is truly the big adjustment. It is a job now. And the details and the taking care of your body, adjusting to all of that, the scrutiny of your life, your personal life, all of that factors into being able to adjust at this level.
Sly, I have always thought that it wasn't the first round guys that people selected. Everybody pretty much knew them, but it was the guys in the rounds below that if you had a staff that was able to evaluate guys down the line somewhere, it's what made your team. Comment on that. Am I wrong about that?
Well, it all matters. Of course, the guys at the top of the draft, they make the big splash, and usually, and I say usually, you expect them to be the impact players because you drafted them higher, you playing them more money, and really the good teams, you just can't make mistakes at the top of the draft because of the money involved. Those guys are going to be around for a while.
Sure.
But yeah, you get great players throughout the course of the draft, and even guys that are not drafted. It's amazing that even in this day and time, when there's just so many work hours and so much manpower, so many financial resources involved in evaluating people for the draft, that guys get overlooked and free agents end up becoming great players. So, we do a significant amount of work, even looking at potential free agents because those are the guys, really, from a value standpoint. If they come in and be great players, those first couple of years, they're not making high salaries, but a lot of those guys, really those guys at the bottom of the draft, as you were saying, they're really the heart and soul of your football team, because those are the guys that really your special teams and those kind of things, and really set your work ethic tone and the day-to-day work, and that's where you set your identity with those guys.
Yeah.
We're talking with Sylvester Croom. You touched on it earlier. Talk about that. In college, these guys are monitored. People watch them go to class. They try to, see everything they're doing. But when you get to the pros, hey, you're a professional and you got a job to do. It's a job. And if you don't do the job, then they'll just basically fire you and find somebody else. Just talk about the difference there as far as a player getting adjusted.
Well, the first thing, as a position coach, I tell my players all the time, dependability, availability, and dependability are the two most important abilities I'm looking for. Because no matter how talented the guy is, if he's in the training room all the time, that does me no good. If I can't depend on him, one of the things important to me for coaches, Saturday night is the only time we really get a chance to get a little rest. And if I got to stay up all night worrying about who's going to show up on Sunday, then I don't need that guy.
Yeah.
So, having a guy who's, at this level, we're not going to monitor classes. I'm not checking in the morning to see if a guy is going to be here at 8:00 or 7:30, whatever time that meeting. If the meeting's at 7:30, at 15 minutes to 7, I expect him to be in the building. If I need him, and go look for him, go to the locker room to talk to him about something, I expect him to be there. If he's not there, we got a problem.
Yeah. Quarterback-wise, the kid from Oregon has come in and been awfully good for you, I think, and there seems to be a really high-character guy that with great ability. Comment on him.
Marcus is outstanding. I mean, he's first of all, he's an outstanding human being. I mean, professional in every sort of way, focused on football, outstanding leadership abilities. A very quiet guy in a lot of ways. He doesn't make a lot of public statements, but around the building, he interacts with everybody in the building, and always got a smile on his face. But is the epitome of professionalism and very, very talented. I mean, he throws the ball well. He's very smart. He's very athletic. He runs the ball. And we just got to keep him healthy, and if we do that from his standpoint, we'll have an outstanding quarterback for some time.
As I look at it, Coach, you guys, I guess, got 2 picks in the first round. Do you guys play any part in helping the staff that decides who to pick there in the draft, or you guys just kind of let those guys handle that, and you guys just take whoever they take?
No, we're very involved in the evaluation process. Now, our general manager, head coach, and our owner, they will make the final decision as to what we do with those picks and who we take. But there's a lot of input immediately after the season's over with. The day after the last game, we rank our players, and we also rank our needs offensively, defensively, and on special teams for the next year. That happens immediately after the end of the season over. So our scouting department, who's already during the course of last football season have already done a lot of groundwork and gone out and found as much about these people, these players in college, as far as their ability and what kind of people they are. And then the conversation continues from the end of the season all the way through to the draft. Our coaching staff went out this year and probably more than at any time in the recent past around here to evaluate college players on their campuses. So there's a lot of input into gathering of information, evaluation on film, and writing up reports. And everybody here in our organization has a chance, scouting and coaching, to give their opinion. And then John and Coach Malarkey evaluate all that information, and then they make a final decision.
Hey, Sly, things hadn't changed at Alabama when you played and when you coached here. They win them all but one. They're mad at the quarterback. They say he can't pass. Everybody's mad at everybody because he didn't win the championship. Nothing. Hey, Sly, nothing has changed since you sitting those officers down the hall there, and everybody was griping and complaining when you played, griping and complaining when you were coaching.
Hey, well, but I tell you, I tell people all the time, you know, when they sit around and talk about it, I still say, you know, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. As an alumni and a fan of the University of Alabama, hey, I'm glad it's that way. We expect to win the national championship every year. But when I was working there and as an assistant coach, I'll tell anybody, it's the toughest job in football anywhere. And I've never been under more pressure. You know, never felt more pressure when I was coaching at Alabama. So
yeah, they want this freshman quarterback to go ahead of this guy who won every cotton picking game they play except one, and they want him to go ahead. They hadn't even seen him play, but the second string quarterback's always the best player.
And I mean, it looks like they got. The freshman, Jalen Hurts, came in last year as a pure freshman and take us to the national championship game, and really impressed me. When the thing looked like it was a loss, he took us down and gave us a chance to win the game, and of course we didn't. But again, we expect to win the national championship. But for us to, Coach Saban just done an outstanding job there. I mean, this guy is just truly unbelievable in my opinion.
That recruiting is up something the way he's been recruited. He's made it used not to be national. Now it's national. Slide.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. That's what we couldn't even recruit outside of the Southeast. No. I was saying now, and now we got the best players in the country coming to Tuscaloosa, and I can see why. When I was back there last weekend for the 8-day weekend, and the entire campus. I mean, just what they've done to the entire university, and it's just a beautiful place, and it just the only reason the guy wouldn't go there because he was afraid.
Yeah. Well, the atmosphere is just sort of like when Coach Bryant was there when Dude was trying to find out where Coach Bryant might be tomorrow so they might go play golf, or Mal was hit out trying to do some. Bud Moore's, they were all trying to gripe at Carney Lashley about, that time that Pat Dye, but not Pat Dye. Well, Pat Dye was there, but Pat James came in to Carney Lashley, and Carney said, Pat, you cannot put cowboy boots on your expense account. and so he said, you'll work that thing. So Pat James came back in there and said, Carney, they're on there. Let me see you find them. They were squeezing every penny out of it. Now they spend a lot of money.
I know that. Coach Saban made the comment at the football players meeting on Friday night that the University of Alabama takes in probably more financial resources because they have athletic programs than anybody in the country. But he also mentioned that we spend more, and that's probably the reason everybody else is chasing us. So that's a good thing.
That was funny what you said about it being difficult to be assistant. Does that mean like you go through drive-through windows, you don't ever go in a restaurant, and you get your gas at night? Get your gas at night so nobody can see you.
No question. No question. I remember one time we went. I forgot when I was playing that. We were at home. I think the year we lost to Vanderbilt at home.
Yeah.
And I was going to be real stubborn after the game because I always, after the games at home, would walk from the stadium back to the Coliseum. I was, just enjoying the crowd and the ambiance of the campus. So after the game, the guy said, look at me and said, "Are you going to walk back?" I said, "Hey, no different than the other time. I'm walking." That was the longest walk of my life. I wished 1,000 times I had gotten on the bus and ridden back over there. I'd never do it again.
Bus. That's right.
Did you have a few coaches out there in the crowd that were giving you some suggestions on the way back to the Coliseum?
Every step of the way.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we appreciate you being on. You're a mighty great man, and you had a great family, and I enjoyed working with you, and hope things go well for you this year. I'll be pulling for you.